Hello everyone, welcome back again. My name is Jesse, and in this wonderful session, we try to see how to deploy our Streamlit app on GCP, right, on Google Cloud platform. So first of all, let's see the basic stuff you need. So the first step is that you're supposed to create an account on GCP. In case you don't have an account, you can just create an account. You just go to console.cloud.google.com, then you create an account, right? You can use the $300 credit to try anything that you want to do. That's the first step. Then the next step is to create a project. So I've opened my account, then I just come to this particular place, right? Then I'll create a project, right? So you can just create a project by new project. You can just create a new project here. Then it's going to redirect you to a particular project that you want to create, right? So you're just going to give it that particular name. So let's give it a name. So I have let's ignore this one and let's give it the name of a project. So it's very, very important to name your project very well, because that is going to be the name to be using in case you are deploying your app. So let's go to Streamlit project, right? Or Streamlit app, something like this, right? This, or can make it better, Streamlit labs, right? Something like this, right? Streamlit labs, something like that. Then I'll just create it from here. So it's going to create this particular project name called Streamlit labs rather. Taking some time to run it, so I shut down some ones. So this is something that I was trying before. Perfect, that's finished, right? So just finished creating it for us. So I can just come back to this place and I'm going to see that my app that I created is there, Streamlit labs, right? We can just call it any name. So I'll redirect to that particular one. Very, very interesting and very simple. Okay, that is the second step, right? So now I'm in this particular project called Streamlit labs. Perfect, and I've not enabled it. Now the next step is that we need 3 requirements. So these are the 3 main requirements after creating your account and then creating your project. So the first requirement is that you need a Docker file, right? That is the first thing. So a Docker file is a file that contains your instructions. So in a previous tutorial we had a Docker file, so we'll be using that one. The next requirement is that you need an app.yaml file. So the app.yaml file is the file that is going to be used to configure your app, right? Very, very interesting. Then the third stuff you need is your J-Cloud SDK. So these are the 3 main requirements. So let's start with the Docker file. So this is going to be our Docker file, which we used in a previous tutorial to run our app. So we are using a base image of Python 3.7. Then you're going to create a working directory where we'll be creating our app. Then we're going to copy all the requirements.txt file, all of these things which our app depends upon, into our working directory. Then we're going to install them, right, with the run pip install. Perfect. Then we need to expose a port. So in this particular session, we will not be exposing the default port of this. We're going to port 8080. It's very, very important, right, for it to work. Then we are going to copy everything inside our app, right, into our app working directory that you created here. Then the next thing is that we are going to be taking off our entry point. We are building a new image altogether. Then we'll be giving our last command. So we'll be using the shell form instead of the exec form. So this is what we'll be putting there. We're going to go in with Streamlit run, then the name of app, right, which is going to be this particular app that you are running, right? That is what you're going to do. So you can just go straight away with this, or you should specify some basic parameters. So the parameters you'll be specifying is that you're going to give it a server.port, which is going to be the port that you'll be listening on, right? So server.port, which is going to be port 8080, the port that we are exposing, this particular port. That is the next step. Then the next option is that you need to enable cross origin. They need to enable this particular stuff, right? So it's going to be this option. Perfect. So enable cross origin resource scaling, right? This particular stuff is very, very important. So we are going to set it as false. Otherwise, it's going to give you an error. It's going to hang up, right? That is the basic idea. Then going to supply the app.py. So this app.py is referring to our app here. This is a simple app that to be deploying. Something very simple, something very basic. So deploying Streamlit with Docker on GCP. Something very simple. I'm going to see this one. Perfect. So this is the app you'll be running. So that is all. So first you're going to build your base image from Python. You create a working directory. You copy all the requirements.txt file here, which is this particular requirement.txt file. Then you're going to install them. Then expose port 8080. You copy everything in our working directory, current working directory. Then you end it with this particular command, right? This is what's going to run our app. Very, very important and very simple. So I'm going to save our Docker file. Then the next thing is that we need to move on with the next step, which is creating our YAML file, right? So I'll just open another file and save it as app.yaml. You should not forget the name. So I'm going to save it as app.yaml file, right? The name must be app.yaml, just like this name is going to be Docker file without any extension. So app.yaml file. So this is going to be contain the information for our configuration. So it's going to go with our runtime. So our runtime is going to be, it can be Python, but because we are building a Python image already, we're just going to call it as custom, right? So let's call it as custom. Then the next thing is that we're going to give an environment. So the environment is going to be, can be standard or flexible, but let's use flexible, right? So we use flex for flexible. That is the basic idea. So we are specifying the runtime as custom and the environment as flexible. So let's say this particular stuff, that is all that we need. Then the next stuff we need is that we need to be able to get our Cloud SDK, right? So go to your browser, then you go to this particular option. So this is going to give us instructions on how to install your Cloud SDK. So I'm already on Ubuntu, so I have already installed it. So we'll just go straight away without installing it, but you can just come to this place and install it based on your system, right? So that is how it's going to be. So we can use apt-get. Just follow these instructions to install it on your system. Perfect. Now I've already installed it, so I'll just come back to my working directory. So if I go with tree, so these are my stuff. So I have my app, I have my app.yaml file, I have my Docker file, I have my requirement.txt file, right? So first, let's run it. So it's going to be gcloud. If I go with gcloud.help, I can see the various instructions on how to work with gcloud, right? That is the basic idea. Perfect. So that is the various stuff there. Then I can just go with quit. Perfect. So now let's see our projects too. So to see your current project, just go with gcloud project, right? Gcloud project list. So it's going to list all your projects in that, which is referring to this particular project that we have here. So we had our project here, all this project that we have, all these are projects, right? I don't know, it's all this project here is going to be listed here, right? So you can see all my projects there together with the ID and all of these things. And to see the current project that you are in, you just go with gcloud, then config, set project. So this is going to tell you the current project that I'm in, right? So search project. So I forgot the S. So get project, not set project, right? Get project. So with this option, I'm going to get the project I'm currently inside, right? So see the lot of mistakes I'm making. Let's move on. So it's going to be get projects. Hope it doesn't give us any error. Wow. Okay, don't worry, we'll fix it. Okay, the right code is supposed to be gcloud config, right? Then I'll move on to get value project. That is the mistake I made. So it's going to tell me the current project I'm inside. So I'm in project depth, this 23363. That is a different project from this one that we had here. So this is this project, but I want this particular project. So how do I do that? So I'm just going to go back to my gcloud instance, my terminal. Then I'll just go back to gcloud in case I want to get my project again. So project list is going to list all my project again for me, just like it did previously. Then I'll set that particular project. So I'm moving to this Streamlit labs, right? So I'm going to copy this one here. Then I'll just go with gcloud config. Now set project. That was what made a lot of mistake. Set project, and I'll paste in my Streamlit lab. So it's going to configure it to this particular new project. So updating property. Now I'm inside my Streamlit lab. So if I go back and I run the get project again, now it's inside my Streamlit labs, right? So that is where I'm working. So I'm now inside this particular project, right? Very interesting. Now let's see how to deploy it. So to deploy it is very simple. So it's going to be same thing that we had. Everything is there. So to deploy it, just going to go with this option. So gcloud, let me bring it up. Gcloud app deploy. That is all you need. This simple code is going to deploy our app. You have to make sure that your Docker file is there, and then your app.yaml file is there together with your app itself, right? It's going to deploy it. So it's telling me these instructions. So select the region that you want it to host. So I'm just going to go with number 10, or you can use US Central, any of them. So let's go with number 10. Then it's going to set up everything, right? Perfect. So it's setting up everything as expected. Apologies. Perfect. So it's going to ask me, give us all these details. So this is going to be the Streamlit apps, the app.yaml file, and this is going to be the target project that is going to be hosted there, and this is going to be the name that you'll be using, right? Very, very interesting. So continue. Yes, going to continue. So it's enabling services. So now I can even copy this particular stuff I have here, which has not been deployed yet. So I'll copy this one, and then we will check it here. So come back to our browser and open it inside our browser. So when I open it inside our browser, because that's not finished, it's going to give us a 404 error, right? Because that's not finished. So it's setting up everything, enabling services. Then after some time, we'll be able to see our app being deployed. So let's give it some time. So you can see that it's running. It's just running everything, just like I'm building the image. It's a working directory, right? Just like in case you are building it with Docker on your system locally, right? So it's going to build it step by step. So step 2.2/7, step 3, copying the files, running. It's going to build it and download the various requirements that you need, right? Just like in case you are building it locally. Perfect. Perfect. So successfully built is preparing. Layer already exists, pushing them perfectly. Then after some time, it will tell us that that's finished. It depends upon how fast the system is, and then how fast your connection is, but it's going to work perfectly. So finish, that's done, right? So done. So it's updating services. So now even as it's updating services, it takes several minutes. So if I come back to what we did already, if I run it, it's still not working, right? But after that's finished updating, it's going to tell us that Streamlit is already deployed. Perfect. So that's finished deploying everything, right? Perfect. So everything is working perfectly. So if I come back to the same place I can either open it with this option, right? Cloud app browse, or I can just copy the same thing that I have here, which I've already copied. And if I refresh it, I'm going to see our app deployed. Voila, right? You see that Streamlit is working. Then Streamlit labs appspot.com, right? Perfect. And you're going to see it perfectly working without giving us any errors. So it's waiting. It's working. So that's one of the things that you can notice. So this is one of the errors that most often it's okay, right? You should have to be careful about this. So if I refresh it again, so now it has come perfectly, right? So let me refresh it again. So this is one of the concerns that you may face. So you just have to just refresh it perfectly. So everything is working as expected. So if I can come back to this place, plots, then you can see that deploying Streamlit with Docker on GCP. So that is a basic idea about how to deploy your Streamlit app on GCP, right? So sometimes you can get that error that came, but to solve it, just refresh it. So let's see and recap. So the basic idea is that first of all, you need a Docker file, right, with the various configurations. So the base image, the working directory, the most important thing to expose port 8080. Then you have to enable this particular stuff. You have to set it to false, right? Otherwise, it's going to give you that error that came. That is the first step. Then the next requirement you need is you need an app.yaml file, which must contain this information, right? Then the next thing that you need is you need your Cloud SDK, which you can install from the official website here based on the operating system that you are working on. Then you can just deploy it. So everything is working as expected. So now if I come back to this place, this is going to be the project I'm already working inside. So if I can cancel this because I'm already there, then I can come to this place, right? So I come to this place, I can come to my app engine, then you'll be able to see the various stuff there. You can see the request that is being made. So I come back to not my compute. If I come to my compute, you can see my app engine. Click on the app engine, and you'll be able to see all the various instances that has been deployed. Perfect, right? So that is how to deploy a Streamlit app on GCP. Very, very simple, right? So let's come back here. This is the particular app that we are working on, right? The app here and the region that we set there in the configuration, and I can come back to my instances, and you're going to see our app there, like the various instances that has been opened for us. So in case you are done with your app and you don't want to use this app, if you come back to the instances here, we have only, I think, 2 instances, only 1 instance. We have about 3 instances, right? So we have all of these things. You can, in case you are done with them, you can just delete them, right? Select them and delete them. That is the basic idea behind it. So let's select them, then you can just delete them, right? That is the basic idea, in case you are done with them and don't want to use it. So thank you for watching this tutorial, and please don't forget to subscribe and share. See you in the next session. Stay blessed.